Since the BBC first began broadcasting, there have been 24 general elections, with many a nail-biting result.
So this year, more than ever, all eyes are going to be focused on all this lot that's going on all around me. They're going to be pulling out all the stops to bring you the results as they happen. There are going to be winners and losers, swingometers and spin. It's pure drama. It's democracy in action. And I love it.
It was TV executive Grace Wyndham-Goldie who first came up with the idea of an all-night marathon television event.
Mrs. Goldie, how long are you going to be on the air?
Well, we are starting up at 9:15 on polling day. We're going on till 4 in the morning.
Grace knew that she had to hire a serious professional to front a show that would last for 17 hours.
Sitting with me here, he will be my constant companion tonight and tomorrow, is David Butler.
Well, it's my job tonight to try and
make sense of the results for you.
Now at the age of 91, Sir David Butler is as passionate about election nights as ever.
Is that what's called being a psephologist?
When the ancient Greeks voted in Athens, they dropped a pebble in the urn and they called it a sephos.
What's going through your mind, seeing yourself all those years ago up there on the big screen?
Well, of course it's nostalgic. I did, I think, 15 elections on television. Maybe the most exciting nights of my life. Everyone knew it was an adventure, and you felt the cameraman, everyone was rooting for you.
But of course, I'm not really a lightning calculator myself. I can only do this with the aid of the people on my right, with Robin Farquharson here.
It was your team of students doing it, not a computer.
Yes, once you'd got 4 or 5 results in, you'd got at what national swing was probably going to be to within 1% or so, and then you spent a whole night refining it.
Richard Dimbleby stayed in the driving seat into the 1960s, and in 1964 there was a new kid on the block, a fresh-faced 25-year-old.
This is David Dimbleby at Exeter. Thank you, son.
It was a poignant moment for election night. David had just made the first of many appearances. His father, Richard, was seriously ill, and this would be his last. Election nights were changing. In the 70s, computers were beginning to threaten the old guard.
I just wanted to draw your attention to a very interesting fact, that the swingometer was retired at the beginning of the evening in favour of the very expensive computer.
But Bob Mackenzie was king of the swing, and he stood his ground.
This little machine had it all right all the way through.
I remember that the rivalry between you both was quite tangible.
Yes, well, he used to boast that his swingometer was better than our statistics, when the swingometer was entirely based on the statistics we were supplying.
It was right here from the beginning. Cost a lot more to work it out in the computer. The old machine is still there.
I can see we're about to enter a time-honored dispute.
We have in the background large numbers of the girls all wearing terracotta overalls. There are charming girls on telephones, as if she didn't know she was being looked at.
Television coverage of the election may have been started by a woman, but it was several years before a woman was part of the on-screen team. But 1979 saw a seismic change. For that election, a woman presenter was in the studio for the whole night throughout the show. And that was me. Oh, and coincidentally, it was a momentous night for a certain Iron Lady.
A new era in British politics. A Conservative government headed by the Western world's first woman Prime Minister.
In many ways, election night is a snapshot of where we've been, where we are, and hopefully where we're going, as well as of the history of television itself. And I'm really thrilled to have been just a very small part of that story. And on this election night, well, like millions of you, I shall be glued to the action, right to the bitter end.
We bring to an end this marathon run after some 17 hours with a very simple and easy word. Goodbye.